Hi, we are not in session yet. We are currently waiting for a couple more council members to arrive so we can get our projects done tonight with a full quorum. So stay tuned.
Of course.
to bring this December 18th regular council meeting to order. Have one council member who is going to attend by phone, and we're calling him right now.
Hello.
Hello, we're on, we're live, we're in session.
All right.
Okay. So,
I'm here.
okay. We are in session at 7:10.
Yeah.
All right, roll call, we have all active members present. Visitors, we have none. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no public comments, any solicitations or additions to the agenda?
Just as long as you're planning on talking about where we're at with what have we done and what are we doing with new council member.
Okay.
As long as that's in mayor's comments, I think I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. That it? Okay. We are going to table the December 11th council meeting minutes. They were not prepped. We've had some
Strike from the agenda.
strike from the agenda. Thank you. I'll just leave it at that. You have the council documents in front of you, Chris. We do have to observe the check register, which is the first item on the front. That's checks that have already been approved that were written last week. Anybody else?
Oh, we already got a chance.
Okay. Any time needed on that?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. I'm good. Okay. We did put in to observe the claims that have come in at last week, since it's potentially going to be a bit before we're meeting again to approve, so we're trying to keep us current on those. So that's that. And any questions about what they're paying for? There's the invoices in the packet right in front of you.
And that is an approval. Motion to approve
I'll second.
as presented.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion, questions?
Nope, I'm good.
There was a little bit of explanation that talked about the Hobart charge. So David and I already have that context.
Did you
but-
see those, Chris? Right there.
Yeah, it's for the dishwasher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to tell us they couldn't do anything for it.
Boy, you know how much it resonates with me.
Okay, if there are no other questions, do we have a motion to approve?
It's,
Oh,
Yeah, I made a motion to
Yeah.
approve as presented, and
Okay.
Chris seconded.
okay, so,
So,
there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Okay. approved.
Aye.
Thank you. Approves 4-0. All right. Oops, I totally skipped over the main event.
Well, we can come back
I
to
was
it.
We're
wondering.
gonna
but-
come back to it. Okay, 2025 budget. We needed to do some tailoring on that, so,
I read over what you sent me, it was fine.
Okay, because it's what, come here. Computers and I have not been getting along worth a dang. That's what, I don't have Excel and all that, so that's what was, I sent it out tonight.
I have not seen it. So I don't know if it came to the mayor or not.
Yeah, I'll forward it to you. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
You sent it to council.
I
but
did,
Yeah.
and I did. I should have picked up on that.
No worries. I'll forward it. Sent it to your email, Joe.
Okay.
Now you're tagged.
Okay, so this does not include any kind of COLA for 2025,
At this time, no.
okay?
Now, that's not to say during and I believe correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the course of next year, at any time, you could request something.
I mean, the last note that is on there is that council can amend the wage schedule at any point.
You're right.
And I have a feeling that the wage schedule will be kind of somewhat similar to the handbook and that it probably needs a more comprehensive review. I had mentioned I was very interested by Chris's suggestions about having performance-based increases. And we need to also codify exactly what certifications would bring increases and how much. So, I mean, this is
the tip of the
I would view
iceberg.
this as a very bare bones, like, this is not something we should end 2025 on, in my view. But
And-
I don't know if we can really do a more full-fledged one until we have officially council reviewed job descriptions. Like, there's a couple things that need to go A, B, C, and we're not going to get those done in order to pass the budget this year. And the handbook dictates that a wage schedule is supposed to be in the budget. So I think this is kind of like the minimum viable product. But
And you are correct, because we never did draw the lines in the sandbox on the job descriptions from admin to public works. And in there, we'll also explain, the different classifications and like we talked about.
Okay. So, just to make sure we don't lose track or lose sight of that, should we set a date that we will have corrections, amendments to the employee handbook and the wage schedule?
That handbook's gonna take a lot of work.
I understand. I'm not talking about like 2 or 3 weeks from now, I'm talking about,
November of 25. He didn't like that one.
That's what I was thinking, but
It goes back, there's a history there.
yeah, okay. The budget gets started in July. That's when things start rumbling.
Right.
Could we say by the end of May?
I said after the first of the year, we definitely did do our best to get on this and start pounding it out. And a series of, I don't know, workshops. I mean, it was left to two of us and the mayor last time. And I would like to see a workshop or something that everybody is involved and has input and knows what's going on.
Okay.
Instead of 1 or 2 people.
Because
I value
let's
other
face it, the
people's
last
opinions.
4 meetings, the work or the employee handbook has been questioned for how to interpret it and all the rest of it. It'd
Right.
be
You
nice
stick-
to just have that off the table because we're all
Mm-hmm.
on board.
yeah, but I don't think you can have more than 3 council members involved in the process.
But at a
if you
workshop.
declare it a workshop, you can.
Okay.
You just can't make any decisions. You can.
Right, you can't
But
do
you are
action items.
correct in your,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will participate in whatever I'm asked to. I'm not actually on that committee as such. I mean, one thing we did find with the handbook, at least I guess I speak from my own opinion, but with the handbook, because it was so expansive and given the makeup of the council at that time, that council was not equipped to have the handbook discussion as 5 people. There was a lot of cooks in the kitchen. So at that time anyways, and I'm not saying that that's this council, but there was a utility, I think, in putting something out there and then giving everyone an opportunity to shoot at it.
right.
So
like, that's not me saying I don't want to be a part of it. Like, if you want to do a full council thing, I'll be there. But I'm also saying I also think there could be utility, if you want, to having the two of you guys come up with, this is what we think is a good idea, and then deconstruct that in a larger session, because it's sometimes hard to formulate a new direction with more people. But
It
I'm good
is.
either way.
I was telling Chris last week that, you know, my personal feeling is, and this is just me, I guess, beating myself up. I feel like my contribution to city council is kind of minimal in my, just how I feel. So I would like to be a part of it in any way I could, helping with the handbook, whatever I can do, however I can be assistant to any assistance to Chris and David. I'd like to be a part of it in any way. So.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly accept that, because the way I view it is that it's the council, and I've just talking, amongst the council members, been more than just one or two express interest in this. So I'm saying a workshop, you're not going to get decided in one meeting or one
No.
deal. So, but input from everybody is I think we can come to, everybody will be on the page, and one person has an idea and will work or experience in this department. I mean, it's a combination of everything. So,
Fine by me, I'll be there.
Tell me in.
okay,
Okay. I vote February 5th.
February 5th.
5th. It's the first, no.
Well, if you want to get it done in a quarter, I would suggest it should be a standing workshop before the meeting.
Right.
I'm not, I was talking about to get through January and all the rest of we got other stuff on the agenda. We could all be looking at it and then start our first workshop on February 5th is what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
But if that doesn't work for you,
That won't work for me.
okay. And
Any
it's a
time in
workshop.
February?
It doesn't have to be a Wednesday.
Just not that first week in February.
Okay.
Are there other days of the week that work better for people?
Mm.
For non-council meetings?
Right. I'm open right now.
Thursdays are not good for me. Thursday afternoons are not good for me.
Okay. So,
Wednesday nights are about the only time that are good for me.
Okay, just not that one.
Just not that one. I've got a huge
Wednesday's
work
good
thing
for you?
going on.
Yeah, I'm done. Wednesday's fine.
Well, the one before it is January 29th.
I'll be prepping for that huge work thing that whole
Okay.
week.
Got it.
what's the my
The
calendar?
week after is
Well,
perfectly fine.
It sounds like we've got at least another meeting between now and then. We can
Okay.
look at
Yeah,
calendars and
let's
come
look at
back.
calendars on the 8th. Seriously, I'll make that an agenda item to
But it's something
come
that
up
we
with a
need,
schedule.
council needs to tackle
Yeah,
ASAP.
I guess what I'm trying to say is it would be nice if we have that a routine scheduled, that's what we're doing so that we can make it an action item and target it all.
Right.
Okay.
One thing I would like to request with this, and I guess, I don't know, if we had more time or something, maybe I would put this into a form of a resolution that I would propose, but I think we can just do this with an agreement, because it would just, all I'm asking for is an agenda item that if we do have employee turnover, I would request that the wage schedule be an action item in the next meeting after turnover. Like if we get a resignation, then the wage schedule is an action item for us to review and potentially make any amendments. And hopefully, the wage schedule will get to a point where there'll be no amendments. But it's all well and good to have this, but if we are not aware of it, if we're not keeping accountability to it, then we're just setting ourselves up for an audit problem. And I think even the last time we had a wage schedule, I don't think we were very conscious of it. So when there's a new employee about to be hired, we should look at it and say, yep, it looks good. No, this doesn't reflect market wages, we need to fix it now. But regardless of action, no action, it should be a standard procedure, I think, to review this so that we know when we're hiring a new employee, this is what we're heading into.
Well,
These are the parameters.
that kind of, it's in the handbook to do that, review that position.
Well, to review yeah.
And to set and do exactly, but you're reiterating, but
Yeah.
driving a point home, yes, it's something we haven't done in the past.
No, and we need to get tighter on that.
And I just, we've got to assist the mayor in his ability to, when we get to that point, if we get to that point, to know what the heck you're offering and what
Exactly.
people are expecting.
Okay, so all I did was add a section I didn't know what I was gonna write in there, so I just left it blank. That's what you guys had before, but down in there it talks about, and there's a space to put a table in for wages.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not distribute this.
You said you did not, this is not
I
accurate.
renumbered things, I didn't change anything,
Okay.
I just added that one section. If you guys are okay with that verbiage, then all I have to do is take your table and drop it on there and it's done.
Well, then I should send this to you in an editable format instead of a PDF.
That helps too.
You can always drop a picture of it in there.
Good.
It's true. It's probably gonna get printed off anyway, so
I could literally
might as well.
print it and cut it and tape it and scan it.
Don't forget to use some white out while you're at
Okay,
it.
okay. I don't even know if there's whiteout in this plan.
Okay, I see in section 2. Okay. Do we have an ordinance number on that?
I left it blank because I wanted to double check.
Yeah, it's triple X.
It's
Okay, sent that to you as Excel.
okay. Okay. I think, was 514 the last one we did where we repealed a couple of really old ordinances?
I could go back and look.
That was done in July.
Yeah, I see that.
We did some resolutions and.
But we need an ordinance, right? That's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Well, we traditionally have done it. I think, yeah, it does need to be an ordinance. Yeah, I'm gonna call it 515.
Yeah, that looks right to me. I don't remember voting on any ordinance since that one to repeal.
Didn't we do one like 2 weeks ago?
An
We did-
ordinance?
I think we did didn't we have to do a resolution for?
Was it 433?
We did a resolution for the levy, tax levy
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else in my inbox.
Okay.
Move the adoption of ordinance 515.
Second. How come I don't have
We
anything?
have a first and a second. to approve, Stephen and David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Looks good. Thank you for your work on that. I think that's
Yeah.
the most comprehend. Every year it feels like we vote on a budget and then I kind of sit here and get queasy because I don't know exactly how accurate everything, like, it's not any particular link in the chain, but there were a lot of links that were historically weak, getting onto Springbrook and the whole thing. Not about people really, just about where we were in a long process. And thank you that I think it's feeling like we actually have a better idea what we're looking at.
I have a better understanding, which helps
Yeah.
so much. And anytime any of you guys want to come in and look at it from the budget point of view, I'll be happy to share it. Probably took 2 weeks just to wrap my head around it. Anyway, okay, mayor's comments. You wanted me to do on the, I have not, it has been a crazy week. I have been doing things on a personal basis that has kept me quite busy and out of the building. So I will probably get that, if I believe if we get it in before Friday, it can go get in the next week. So I'm gonna put it in the advertiser and we'll put it in the paper. And quite honestly, I'll post it on Facebook. Once it's done. If there's any place else, I mean, I'm not on every social venue, but if there's any place else that you wanna have it posted, I'm not gonna put it on Indeed.
Well, first of all, they have to be from here, so it wouldn't do any good to have it on.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit too broad of a reach.
Has there been any interest? Or people know about it yet?
I mean, only by word of mouth. So,
That one,
no, that one doesn't, that.
No, that was just
Side pasture,
observation.
So,
I gotta give it to Stephen.
so,
Oops, thanks, Chris.
so that's the story on that.
Thank
Aside
you.
from that, it's the usual Harrington news.
Okay.
You know, challenge here and a challenge there. The backhoe's been acting up. We're trying to get that back online. That's been kind of preventing us from getting some stuff done.
I thought the backhoe was feeling new and sparkly.
Yeah, it was feeling new and sparkly until they started it, dropped it in gear, and it's quit. Started it and dropped it and it every single time. So it'd run, and they could put a load on it, like lift the body with the bucket and stuff like that. But as soon as they put it in gear, it quit. So anyway, they came out. They said the reason the reason it's shorting out all the time is because the actual instrument panel has gone bad. There's a short and all of that. And they think, and they're gonna try and find one, but there's a switch, a kill switch for the fuel pump. It must be a valve or something like that. Not the fuel pump itself, but there's a fuel kill switch.
A solenoid that shuts off the.
Yeah, they
keys-
think when it
keys.
goes into gear, it's.
So when you say
shut off.
it quits, the engine quits or?
Engine quits,
Oh.
stops. So, so that finally came to a head today, with them being here. But aside from that, everything else seems to be going famously.
How's the project down on the sewer?
That's what they're trying. They can't. They got it all dug, they got a plan, they got everything, now they just gotta get material from down there up to there.
Okay.
I thought maybe we were gonna rent, the city was gonna rent a excavator, a little mini.
We did.
It,
We did to get the sewer line to get it dug out because it
Right.
was between a couple of buildings, but they didn't need to keep it to
Okay.
fill it back in, so.
So
They need material, level everything out and make sure it's to grade before they put the pipe in.
Yeah, because that was the problem, is the line that was in there was porpoising.
Really? Not bad, huh?
Yeah. And it was old, and it was clay, and it was filled with roots, and there were a number of other issues, so.
So given that on January 1, we'll be operating under a budget that has money for the purpose of Mini X, do you have an idea of what your plan is? Or
Yeah, so it's twofold. I've been poking my head around, and I think that's a realistic budget to hit. As a matter of fact, we may be able to not only get that, but get a trailer to properly transport it so they don't have to drive it from one end of town to the other. I mean, we'll do it in a pinch, but if we don't have to, it'd be nice. I assured our public works people that I would have them sign off on it before I presented it to purchase. I mean, because if it's not something they want, or it's, you know, they gotta get in it and drive it and use it and make sure that it's a doable deal. But they're out there, and I think we can get it done, and hopefully some of the ones that I saw that are viable are still available by the first of the year.
What size Mini X are you looking at?
He keeps telling me it's like a John Deere 30 something is what he'd prefer, but you know, we're finding Cat makes one, and there's some other ones, you know, and I don't know if that's good. You can buy them almost brand new, really teeny ones for well under 35. I don't want to go there though.
Yeah, but it's all about the capacity of the X. and
Oh,
its
don't get me wrong.
reach.
Yeah, that's why I'm not making that call. It's got to be the ones who are using it that make that call. So,
What have they been, I haven't seen it around when they have it, when the city rents one. What size?
30.
I think they were using a 26 or something like that, and he said, "This is great, but it's just a little too small. It just doesn't have quite the oomph to it." So,
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the horsepower that it puts out.
It's also the reach. At the 26, you only have so much lifting weight with the bucket and arm at full extension. So I think that's why Kenny was talking. He wanted something just one more size up.
Yeah. So yeah, they're out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not gonna let it go too long without. So that might be a. Well, no, I still have to follow the policy for purchase and procurement, so I'm gonna need to make sure that that's followed at this point. Just because it's in the budget doesn't mean I get to go write a check. So that is that.
I guess one other thing, they had a citizen who was frustrated that we weren't plowing within the last week. What is our policy? What is our intended policy going to be towards plowing? Is there a certain amount of snow we want to see, or?
I was told traditionally it was 4 inches or more. I think I've only had to do it once last year, and it was a solid 3 inches, and it was pretty heavy, and I said go. So, I mean, if it's 4 inches and it's blowing around all over the place and it's light and dusty, you know, well, 4 inches we're gonna plow, but if it's 2 inches and heavy, thick garbage, I'm gonna say let's get it off the road.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't see anything this week that completely drivable, anything unless you have ball tires.
Right, and we had, I know the city used to have a map of the snow route, the plow routes,
It's basically a school bus route.
a list of priorities, what it was.
That's probably something I should get together with the principal, or at least the person that's in charge of the transportation department, to make sure we're on the right page there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also make sure that we're not accidentally putting piles of snow. That's one of the other things. I tried to find out where that was, and it's all this heritage knowledge, but I'd like it on a map so that we know where to pile snow on the side of the road. and not inadvertently block a fire hydrant
Yeah.
or block somebody's driveway so that the
Right.
Yeah.
EMS can't get to their front door. That's a bad thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So. This is done, so this is a huge weight off my shoulders so that I can.
Concentrate on something else.
Lots of things. So, yep, that's it. So, I'm sorry you got some comments.
Oh,
I
every year, and it doesn't. There
I was-
will be every year
I
anyway.
was more
It doesn't
concerned
matter.
about the ice storm, if you will, that came through a couple Saturdays ago, because that was far worse than
Oh, yeah.
anything that we saw this week. So that scared the crap out of me.
So people have the conscious choice to slow down, go or no go. That's what it boils down to.
I will say, I think that the Weather Service puts out their winter weather
Advisories.
advisories early and liberal, maybe a little bit too liberal, you know. But I don't feel like we've gotten caught out at all. So, anyway, that's all I got.
Okay, I'm good.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Public comment.
Oh, true.
We have no public to make comments. So, we have a motion to adjourn. All in
I'll
favor?
second.
No comments, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you, Gavin.
7.
7:41.
Thank you.
Bet.